That's Zach Sloan.
Welcome to Dominico Field for Game 2 of the IBL Finals. Thomas West alongside Jackson Farrow. A little last-minute switcheroo on the starting pitcher for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but it is exactly who we expected in Marek Deska.
Yeah, it is, and this felt like it was going to be the guy going in Game 2 for the Leafs. And last time out against Barrie in Game 1 at Christie Pitts on September 15th. Got the win in a 10-5 game that Toronto took. But he did allow 5 earned runs. Specifically, the first couple innings was tough for him. He was able to kind of get settled in, but by then, of course, the damage was done. We'll see how London can fare against him today. On July 18th, he actually took on London here at Christie Pitts. Went through 3 innings, only allowed 1 earned run on 2 hits, and got 4 strikeouts. So we'll see what he has in store for this Majors lineup today.
Marek Deska has been relatively consistent, but not lights out consistent the entire year for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he's pitching in a massive game here in Game 2. This could be a very pivotal game in terms of the series for the Toronto Maple Leafs. The London Majors taking Game 1 in London on Friday night. Chris McQueen, the leadoff batter for the London Majors, and the first pitch from Marek Deska is right down the middle for strike 1.
Well, and if you're the Leafs in this situation, I mean, obviously your lineup is constructed for this park. You really got to take the 2 games you have at Christie Pitts. It all starts with taking care of business today.
Pitch is low, 1-1, and that's a good point. 99 down the right and left field lines, fantastic for these power-hitting Toronto Maple Leafs. That being said, the wind has shifted from now blowing straight out from center field, and heels have all ripped into the gap. That one's going to get down, and picking it up is Marcus Connect. He gets it in quickly, but it's a leadoff double for Chris McQueen.
Chris McQueen, just such a toolsy player. He's got so many different kind of skills. He's fast, great defensively, great contact back, great at laying down a bunt. That time he was able to line one into the gap. Now you'll notice on that play, the ball actually kind of stopped rolling. I think McQueen might have had thoughts of a triple there. He got out of the box really fast. He runs well, but he was limited to a double as a result. We'll see if the Majors can cash him in here.
This is a lot of what you're going to see from Marek Deska. He's not really a strikeout guy. He pitches a ton of strikes, but he likes to pitch to contact. That's his thing, not walking guys, making them put the ball in play. And if you're the London Majors, swinging on the 3rd pitch of the at-bat, that's the exact right approach to have going up against Marek Deska. Pitch is fouled off. Batter is Carlos Arteaga.
Yeah, Arteaga, a guy who's been, a very important cog on this infield defense for the Majors all season long. He can hit up in the lineup. He can hit down in the lineup. You'll notice the Majors lineup is constructed. A lot of good speed, good gloves at the top end and the bottom end with the power in the middle.
Pitch is swung on a miss, strike 2. Arteaga in a 1-2 hole. Marek Deska will be opposed by the star pitcher known by pretty much everyone around the IBL, and Owen Boone this afternoon. Pitch is fouled off. Nice job to get a piece there by Arteaga.
Yeah, Boone, part of the 1-2 punch that the Majors have had this season in their rotation, with Pedro de los Santos getting the win on Friday night. Now it's Boone's turn.
And Pedro de los Santos didn't just get the win. He pitched the entire game, gave up 5 hits the entire game.
Yeah, he is a horse. He can go a long ways, and been a big part of the Majors team this year as a result.
Arteaga takes just inside, 2-2. And the other thing as well about having a guy pitching 9 innings just 2 days ago is the bullpen for the London Majors is as fresh as can be.
Well, and there you go, right? Braden Farrington, the star reliever for the Majors this season, having a career year.
Pitch is lined back to the pitcher on 1 hop. Throw on to first low in the dirt, but scooped out by Jordan Castaldo. Runner at second base, McQueen will hold one away.
And we'll get back to Farrington in a second, but you'll notice great play there by Deska. He's able to field the ball. He actually dropped it there, but he kept his eyes on the runner at second there, McQueen, not allowing him to advance. You know McQueen really wanted to get the third on that play. He certainly got the speed to do so, but that ball was just hit right back to Deska. A really good job by the pitcher here to get a big first out.
Farrington for the London Majors has been pretty much a more consistent Mateos Kikatos for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Line drive to first base, snared by Costello, throw to second, he got him, double play.
Wow. Fantastic job by Castaldo there. I mean, he almost did the splits trying to grab that liner, and he's able to throw a beautiful assist there to second base and able to get a big double play here to end this inning, or the end of the top half of the inning. That was a great chance for the Majors to score. Obviously, you know, a big part. We talked about even when the Leafs played Barrie, you got to keep up with the Leafs in their own park, especially with Owen Boone on the mound. If you can get a couple runs early on, you put yourself in a really good position if you're London, but unable to cash in that leadoff double there. And we'll see how, you know, perhaps that'll have a ripple effect for the rest of the game here.
Pitching to contact works for Marek Deska in the first. He gets a double play to get out of it. We'll be right back in just a few minutes as Owen Boone steps on the mound for the London Majors. Welcome back to Christie Pitts. Thomas West alongside Jackson Farrow. 0-0 Toronto Maple Leafs coming up in the bottom half of the first inning, and the pitcher on the mound for the London Majors, Owen Boone.
Yeah, Owen Boone, a fantastic season from the right-hander. He's got such a lively fastball, sits between 88 and 92, at least as of earlier this season. He's a guy, you know, London native, went to Western University, real hometown guy, and he's pitched in the IBL for a long time with the Majors, but he's having a fantastic year this season.
First pitch from Owen Boone, swinging a ball lined into the outfield, coming on and dropping in front of Byron Reichstein, a leadoff single for Jordan Castaldo. So a good start for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they're in tough against Owen Boone. And not only has Owen Boone been great against the entire league this year, or just as a pitcher in the IBL, he's also been great against the Toronto Maple Leafs. 2 starts against the Leafs in the regular season for a total of 13 innings, didn't allow an earned run. The Toronto Maple Leafs are looking to get their first earned run of the year in the playoffs. As here's the ball popped up.
Oh, look out.
About 20 feet to Jackson and I's left.
Got to bring your glove when you're broadcasting at Christie Pitts, that's for sure.
I have before. You can't touch the computer screen with the glove. That's a good point. Problem.
Yeah.
Justin Mara, the batter. Strike one, count on him. The righty Boone facing the lefty Justin Mara. Here's the pitch. Running is Castaldo. Throw down to second base, and they hosed him. What a throw from the catcher, Hayden Jaco, right on the money. It was a long hop, but it was exactly where the tag needed to be, and they get Castaldo.
Wow, and you know what? That was just an amazing throw from Jaco on the money. And you know, the Leafs and the crowd here didn't like the call. You saw Sean Riley on deck there. He threw his hands up at that one. But Jaco, I mean, fantastic year, both behind the plate, managing this pitching staff, and also at the plate. Been a big part of this the Majors' success this season.
that is pretty much the last thing you want if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, losing a base runner on a caught stealing against Owen Boone. So the pitch is just outside. I didn't see if that was a called strike on the throw down. I don't know if you caught that.
I did not, but regardless, I mean, that's a situation too when you've got such a horse on the mound in the form of Owen Boone. To run into an out like that is obviously frustrating, but
yeah.
You almost tip your cap as well there for Jaco. Great throw.
Pitch is a called strike, so 2-2 the count now on Justin Mara. Mara's got a ton of power, but the wind is certainly not favoring his power right now. That blowing from pretty much right field to home plate is the wind direction. As this one's popped up, the wind might help this one get out of play. Drifting, and that one's going to get foul. Count remains 2-2 on Justin Mara.
Yeah, and Mara's had a great postseason, 6 for 19 thus far, with a couple home runs and 7 RBI.
Two and two. Owen Boone looking in with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. Pitch is low, full count.
Yeah, I think about Mara here. I obviously expect that lively fastball here from Boone, 3-2. Question is, can he catch up to it?
Full count pitch to Justin Mara. Swinging a ball hit in the air. Left field. Carrying pretty well, but camped under it there. Ruiz, he makes the catch. About 10 feet shy of the left field wall, and Mara is retired.
Well, he got the fastball, and he can certainly catch up to it, couldn't he? Answer my question there. Just about took it out, but, he just got a little too underneath it. Obviously, the lefty spraying it into left field. The wind couldn't help him too much. It's funny, actually. Right when that ball got into the sky, the wind almost died down a little bit. Tough timing, and Ruiz, right with his back against the wall, was able to make the play.
Last time out, Owen Boone threw a complete game shutout versus the Brantford Red Sox, and he's been fantastic this year, and he's been a good pitcher for many years, but it was actually his first complete game shutout that he had since 2016. Sean Riley takes a wild cut and a miss at a ball in the dirt.
Yeah, I mean, career year for Owen Boone this year, too. 2.32 ERA in 58 innings. He got 66 strikeouts. He had changed up his training regimen a little bit due to the pandemic. And whatever it is, it's clearly working for him.
Especially lately as well. Last 7 times he's been on the mound, he's got the win.
Yeah, Todd Devlin of Game Day London actually wrote a wonderful piece on Owen Boone earlier this year where he talked a lot about how Owen Boone was actually managing school, trying to get his MBA from Western, as well as pitching and becoming one of the top pitchers on the staff for the majors.
Yeah, battling Pedro de los Santos for that honor.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. I mean, you look at this team pitching-wise, yes, they've had the best pitching in the IBL, but it's been predominantly De Los Santos, Boone, and Farrington.
Yep.
And that's not to say that other pitchers haven't done a great job, but that's been really the 3 guys carrying the load for the majors this season.
Sean Riley takes a ball inside. Riley's the leader in playoff home runs right now. He had 3 in the regular season, and he's got 3 in the playoffs already. The guy on deck is the one following him in that stat category. Gary Takamatsu has 2 this playoffs. Riley swings and fouls one off his foot. 2 strikes now on him.
Well, in game 1, Riley actually went 0 for 4, which was a pretty big surprise.
Yeah.
If you told someone before game 1 that, all of Mara or Justin Mara, Sean Riley, Solazzo, and Connect, none of them would have a hit, I mean, it'd be tough to believe. Even still going up against Pedro de los Santos, this lineup is that good. And stifled in game 1, we'll see how they respond here.
Sean Riley went 0 for 4 and lowered his average to .625 in the playoffs. Here's the pitch from Aaron Boone. Right there, strike 3 called outside corner. Riley didn't like it. Owen Boone gets some help from Hayden Jaco, throwing out Castaldo at second base, then gets the next 2 himself. 0-0. We go to the top of the second inning from Thomas West and Jackson Farrell. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Dominico Field. Thomas West alongside Jackson Farrow in Game 2 of the IBL Finals between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the London Majors, and longtime London Major Cleveland Brownlee steps to the plate facing Marek Deska.
Brownlee 1 for 4 in Game 1 with a couple RBI.
Big cut and a foul back.
And Brownlee, of course, I mean, heart and soul of this team,
yeah.
Right? The face of the franchise for many years in London, known all around the community. Great player and a better person.
Brownlee takes high. As you may have recognized from looking at Cleveland Brownlee, he's got a ton of power. Hits one in the air. This one's not particularly deep. Drifting in is Danmar, the shortstop. He makes the catch. Brownlee's retired.
Yeah, and Brownlee, now 4 for 15 on the postseason, and still no home runs yet. But, of course, with a guy with that kind of reputation, you trust that the power will come at some point.
Yep.
Of course, now it's the finals. So, if you're London, you're looking for that power any chance you get. But, a big part of that, too, Thomas, this year has been guys like Reichstein and Jaco have also been carrying a good amount of the load. Jaco at the plate now, I mean, they've been delivering a ton of power as well. Reichstein, the best hitter on the majors this season.
Here's the ball hit pretty well, but camped under it is Marcus Connect, makes the catch. And with 3 pitches, 2 outs.
Yeah, that's big for Deska, right? Trying to mow through this lineup as fast as he can, get as many innings under his belt as he can. Of course, on Friday, Toronto did have to dip into their bullpen with both Kikatos and Richardson being used. But, of course, it is Sunday now. Not sure in terms of the rest and in terms of the usage of those guys, what the plan would be out of the bullpen. But if you're Deska, you're just looking for a better start than what you had against Barrie last time out.
So that was Hayden Jaco flying out. Now Humberto Ruiz steps in, takes a first pitch for a strike.
Yeah, Ruiz just 2 for 11 thus far in the postseason.
Ruiz lines a ball to center field. Connor Lewis broke in. Now he's going to have to break back, and it's over his head in center field. Goes all the way to the wall. Ruiz will cruise into second base, with what will probably be a double, but a ball that Connor Lewis probably could have got.
Yeah, for sure. And he got a really bad reaction to it. I think he just misread it. Maybe the wind was playing a factor, though the wind has kind of died down a little bit as this game has started. So kind of maybe lost the ball there. But, yeah, it's a tough break for the Leafs now with the runner at second. And Deska kind of robbed there of what could have been a really, really short, efficient inning.
This will probably be the last time I give a take from my own baseball experience, but as a center fielder, I can definitely sympathize with Connor Lewis there. That ball that's hit straight at you, especially when you're playing right away, the ball's coming right at you and going over your head. It's hard to read whether that ball's carrying or not. And really, you're kind of just going by the sound it made off the bat, and the sound off the bat wasn't particularly good.
Well, and Lewis has had a fantastic year in the field as well. You'd imagine that till no one feels worse about that play than him, and you hope that Deska kind of bail him out here.
Runner on second, 2 away. Deska was a pitch away from having about a 5-pitch inning. But it also was a pretty hard hit ball. Here's a ball that's hit pretty well. Going back in left field, looking up is Chandler McLaren, home run. Austin Wilkie takes one deep, 2-0 for the London Majors.
That is big. I mean, Wilkie, he's had a nice postseason. Heading into this game, he was 3 for 9. His first home run of the postseason as well. And he's, a big part of this Majors team defensively. But when he can provide something like that with the bat to kick things off here, what a benefit to this Majors team. A huge start for them, and they're up 2-0.
First of the playoffs for Wilkie. He only had 1 in the regular season. Deska, first pitch is on the outside corner to Julian Johnson.
Johnson, the former Maple Leaf, spent some time in the Czech Republic and Japan before returning to the IBL.
You see a lot of guys in the IBL as well that, have played some, minor professional careers, but all of those guys are really, really well traveled.
Well, and you talk about a journeyman.
Yeah.
Johnson really does fit the description. Even when he was in high school, he went down to Florida, actually, played his college in Tennessee, came back up. He's been all around. He said playing in Japan was one of the best experiences of his life.
Pitch is hit in the air. This one's crushed to left field. McLaren looking up, and it's off the wall. And that ball was hit so hard that stopping at first base is Austin Wilkie. And it's a long single. Couple hard hit balls off of Marek Deska.
Yeah, that one was crushed. Thought that one would be gone, but it just sunk right in front of the wall. And Deska lucky enough that one stayed in. And that's a very, very long single there for Johnson. Good break for the Leafs on that one.
Brings up the 9-hitter, Keith Candell. And just on that topic as well, you see guys on the Toronto Maple Leaf side as well, like Justin Sigatello, guy that played in Italy for a little while. And that would be an interesting baseball experience playing over in Europe. You see a guy like Marcus Connect, drafted in the 3rd round by the Toronto Maple Leafs, hopped around the U.S. for a little while, played a little bit of professional baseball. First pitch from Deska. This one's hit in the air. Looks like it's going to stay in the yard, though. Connor Lewis camped under it, makes the catch, but the damage done for the Toronto Maple Leafs. A 2-run home run by Austin Wilkie over the head of Chandler McLaren in left field gives them a 2-0 lead. We head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Toronto Maple Leafs coming up, down 2-0. Welcome back to the finals of the IBL, Toronto Maple Leafs and London Majors. I'm Thomas West alongside Jackson Farrow, Owen Boone on the mound facing Garrett Takamatsu for the Toronto Maple Leafs. First pitch from Boone, swing and a miss by Takamatsu.
And if you're just joining us, first off, we appreciate it. Austin Wilkie hit a 2-run shot in the top half of the 2nd inning. We are now in the bottom half of the inning, and so it's a 2-0 ball game here.
Here's a ball hit in the air, high in the air to center field. Camped under it, and making the catch is Austin Wilkie, one away.
Well, and you know, if you're London, I think this game is going about as good as it possibly could so far. Boone looks solid and in control on the mound early on. First time through the lineup, dealing with some of the stars in the lineup. He's been able to get some big outs. More importantly, London's been able to get, a big 2-run shot there. Obviously, they're going to need more runs, I think, than 2 to have a chance at Christie Pitts today. But certainly a good start for the Majors, who are already up 1-0 in this series.
Swing and a miss by the Toronto Maple Leafs prospect, or former Toronto Maple Leafs prospect, Marcus Connect.
6 for 23 is Connect heading into this ball game. 2 home runs, one of which was against Barrie in Game 1. Absolute moonshot.
2 home runs in the playoffs so far for Marcus Connect. And a guy who's also only struck out once in the playoffs as well. That was a bit of a problem for him as he swings and misses there, strike 2. 23 at-bats for Marcus Connect in the playoffs, just 1 strikeout. And, you know, that's something that the Toronto Maple Leafs as a team have been doing better as well. They're making a lot more contact. And that's what you're going to need against a guy like Owen Boone. Here's a pitch. It's knuckled foul down the right field line.
You know, I'll be interested to see today how these Leafs are able to adjust to Owen Boone's fastball. Can they eventually catch up to it? You know, in what area of the counts are they looking for it? You know, in a 1-2 count, what do you get in that situation? I think they're going to be passing along a lot of info on Boone, a guy who they have seen this year, of course.
Seen and had no success against. Connect fouls one off once again. What's the key to success for Owen Boone? Is it the electric fastball? Is it the off-speed pitches, or a bit of both?
I think it has to be command of the fastball. If he's able to throw the fastball for strikes, getting ahead in counts, I think that'll go a long way. And then setting up the off-speed, he'll be able to work the off-speed off of that. But also, I mean, just trying to keep the ball in the yard, I think, is a big part too here at Christie Pitts. Especially against this team.
Boone's pitch just outside.
Yeah, and obviously Connect, we saw in those couple foul balls, just not able to catch up to it yet. And we'll see what he's looking for here now in a 2-2 count.
Owen Boone looks in. Pitch is hit in the air. Well foul once again.
But a really good job here by Connect right now. That's 3 foul balls with 2 strikes in this AB. Just, you know, not striking out, as you talked about. Just being able to shorten up the swing, get something on it. It's a tough fastball to fight off. He's just looking to, you know, keep something fair and put that ball in the field and try to get on base here.
Connect hits on the ground, this time down the left field line. That one's foul. John Solazzo's on deck. He's another guy who had a long home run a couple series ago. That one in the Hamilton Cardinals game. And I'm thinking back to these games. This is really one of the first tightly played series that the Toronto Maple Leafs have had so far. The series against the Hamilton Cardinals, that was pretty easy pickings for the Leafs. The Hamilton Cardinals are a team that were down a lot of players. They lost a lot of guys to the OUA, which has started up again, OUA baseball. Pitch is hit down the left field line, ripped foul once again, and just missed a guy that was looking through his camera lens.
Fantastic AB here from Connect, by the way. 3 balls and 2 strikes here, and he's really doing a good job of battling off Boone's pitches here. Really making Boone work, running up that pitch count. That's big in a game like this.
Yeah, it sure is. Boone's 2-2 once again. Swinging a foul off. This one straight back.
Yeah, ball's flying all around the yard right now. Lots of dodging and heads up going on.
Yeah.
With Connect continuing to be able to foul these ones off. Doing a good job, like I said, of just continuing to get another pitch, right? Trying to pass the baton any way he can. See if it'll pay off.
2-2 once again from Boone. Low in the dirt. Sorry, that's ball 4. It was 3-2. What an at-bat by Marcus Connect, and he gets on with 1 out.
Yeah, and a good cheer from the crowd here at Dominico Field as well. Deservedly so. That was a fantastic AB with 1 out. And of course, if you're the majors here, double play ball, the double play is certainly in order. But with Solazzo up against the righties, it's a good situation for Toronto to be in and a good opportunity early on in the ballgame.
It is, and I keep keeping my eye there on the center field flags. They're moving from straightaway center field, the wind blowing straight towards home plate, and it's shifting over now, coming from about the right field line. And I mentioned that as that one's fouled straight back because this wind is very significant. It is a very strong wind blowing in from the outfield, and whether that's stopping a home run from going to the ballpark or creating some havoc in the outfield for an outfielder trying to camp under a routine fly ball, which we've seen a few times here at Dominico Field. Pitch is in there for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes on John Solazzo.
Yeah, Boone doing a good job here in this AB, quickly working ahead, getting to 2 strikes, and now we'll see how Solazzo can battle. And if he can kind of follow suit with what Connect was able to do previously.
0-2, long pause from Boone. Now he delivers, swing and a miss. Strike 3, 2 away. and a much shorter at-bat that time from Solazzo.
Yeah, and you know what? That fastball is lively today. Boone's been able to command it really well. Him and Jaco clearly on the same page. And, yeah, that's a big out now to get 2 and have the force at second, obviously, and Boone looking in control here still as he works towards the bottom of this Leafs lineup.
2-0 London Majors. The batter is Dan Mara. He takes one high and inside. Marcus Connect is at first base. He reached via a walk on a long at-bat where he fouled off. It must have been 7 or 8 pitches. Chandler McLaren's on deck, and a big situation here for Boone. Pitches in there for a strike, 1-1. The lefty power hitter on deck in Chandler McLaren. This is a tough matchup for Mara. The righty v righty.
Yeah, if you're Boone here, you really want to get this out. Obviously, it's been a long inning with the Connect AB.
Pitch in the dirt, and it's going to get all the way to the backstop. Moving up to second base now is Marcus Connect.
But certainly less than ideal if you're Boone and the Majors in that situation. Now with a runner in scoring position. But still 2 out. And obviously, like you said, Thomas, tough matchup here for Dan Mara. And if you're Boone here, this is the out you've got to get in this inning.
And this is the IBL finals as well. This isn't like some other games in the regular season where you saw, you give up a run, who cares? No, there's a good chance that these games are going to be decided by 1 run.
Game 1 was.
A lot of the game is pivoting off of the Toronto Maple Leafs pitching. You know the London Majors pitching will be solid. And you know the bats of the Toronto Maple Leafs will be there. Just a matter of whose pitching can be better in this series, it seems. Pitch is just inside. 3 balls, 1 strike now on Dan Mara, and he might take a pitch here. Pitch is inside. He takes ball 4. Chandler McLaren coming up.
Yeah, certainly not an ideal situation now for Boone. That was his 36th pitch of his outing. My math is correct on that one. And so now he'll have to deal with, yes, the number 8 hitter, but this is no easy number 8 hitter in the form of McLaren, a lefty with some power, as you said, Thomas, with the runner in scoring position. You've got to force it, at second and third here. So defensively, you're in a good situation, but boy, could you use a ground ball, just some form of out here if you're Boone.
McLaren way out in front of an off-speed pitch. Strike 1. Dan Mara on first. Marcus Connect on second. The batter is Chandler McLaren. And McLaren, this will likely be one of his last games with the Toronto Maple Leafs as he came over in the dispersal draft from the Guelph Royals. Swinging a ground ball. That one's going to get through the right side. Being sent home is Marcus Connect. Here's the throw to the plate. It's high. And the Toronto Maple Leafs have cut the London Majors lead in half as Marcus Connect scores. It's 2-1.
Well, the McLaren comes up big time there, doesn't he, Thomas? A much-needed first run for the Leafs in this situation, and they're able to cash that runner in. And this was an inning where it seemed to be a little, I don't know what the right word is, but it didn't seem to be too dangerous. Even when, that all started from Connect having that amazing AB where he fouled off all those pitches and was able to reach. Next thing you know, it's a 2-1 ball game now, and the Leafs still have a runner in scoring position. Boone's got to be careful here. This one could quickly get out of his control if he can't get this last out here. Much needed one.
Facing Connor Lewis, who has been fantastic in the playoffs so far for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Drilled a home run and a big one in the game against the London Majors back in Game 1. Pedro de los Santos in that game, we mentioned he was fantastic. He gave up 5 hits in the entire game. 3 of them were to Connor Lewis as the number 9 hitter. Boone's pitch. Swinging a ground ball. Lewis has got a lot of speed, but not enough to beat out that one. The Toronto Maple Leafs get 1 run, and it's all manufactured from a great at-bat from Marcus Connect. 2-1 for the London Majors. We head to the top of the 3rd inning from Thomas West and Jackson Farrow at Dominico Field. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Dominico Field. Thomas West alongside Jackson Farrow. Toronto Maple Leafs got one run in the bottom of the second inning. Top of the third now. Marek Deska still on the mound for the Leafs. Back to the top of the order, and Chris McQueen. Pitch is taken for a strike.
Yeah, and so far Deska's outing has not been terrible. Right, it was the one home run that he's allowed, which is made it initially a 2-0 Majors lead, but he's been much more solid than his last start. Much needed for this Leafs team. Oh, watch out! That foul ball came all the way back into the crowd. And looks like it might have rolled all the way onto the street. Hopefully everyone's okay over there. We appreciate you joining us here, of course, on Maple Leafs TV. Top of the order due up for the Majors, as mentioned.
Pitch is lined to center field. Connor Lewis coming on quickly, and he gets there in time. Good read on this one away.
Great jump there from Lewis. And good job getting that first out on that leadoff batter for the Majors. And, McQueen, I talked about it before. He's so pesky if he can get on because he's going to try to steal a base, and he's pretty good at it. And obviously, he had a line one into the gap in right center last time up, and this time Lewis a little more towards center. He's able to grab it.
First pitch is in there for a strike from Marek Deska.
4 hits already on the day for the Majors and 2 runs, while 1 run and 2 hits for the Leafs thus far. We are in the top of the third inning, just for those of you keeping track at home.
Arteaga hits one on the ground, right back to the mound. Deska lobs one over to the first base. Castaldo 2 away. It's been a slow start for Arteaga to the playoffs so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Really quiet thus far. Obviously, hitting in the number 2 hole. You really want to be getting on base, at least advancing runners. Obviously, in that case, there were no runners to advance. But, yeah, certainly a slow playoffs for him thus far. And the Majors were really going to want to see Arteaga get her going here sooner rather than later. But, of course, the nice part about this Majors lineup is they are really deep, right? And they do have a lot of guys who can get on, whether it be the top end or the bottom end of the lineup. Speaking of depth of hitters, here is London's best hitter, Byron Reichstein.
The St. Thomas, Ontario native, Reichstein, has been a strong hitter all year, up there among the league leaders in batting average as he takes a pitch that appeared to be just outside from Marek Deska.
Specify, of course, is the best hitter this season.
Right.
And, yeah, Reichstein, what a season he's had. He hit over 400 in the regular season, and OPS well over 1,000. He's also great defensively. He's got a fantastic arm. He can play at first base. He can play in right field. Such a useful player for the Majors all season long.
Deska's pitch inside, and did it hit him?
Like
Reichstein didn't think it did, but the umpire does, and Reichstein's on first with 2 away.
Yeah, he certainly didn't sell that one.
No.
But he'll take his base however he can get him, I suppose, and that'll bring up Cleveland Brownlee. But, yeah, that was certainly an interesting play. Looks like it just nipped him right on the wrist there, perhaps. Reichstein seems to be completely fine. No issue in terms of injuries or anything like that. So now, after 2 quick outs, the third hitter in the inning is able to reach, and that'll bring up Brownlee here. Certainly not an ideal situation to have a runner on for the power hitter if you're Deska here.
No, and you'd have to say that Deska kind of plays into Cleveland Brownlee's hand as well in terms of Brownlee is a guy who strikes out a lot. 6 strikeouts and his 14 at-bats coming into this game. And Deska's a guy who pitches to a lot of contact. Brownlee skies one. Really high in the air. Drifting back, Takamatsu. He's under it. He makes the catch. 3 gone. Toronto Maple Leafs strand a runner, and they're coming up to bat in the bottom of the third inning. 2-1 London Majors from Dominico Field. Back to the top of the order and back at Dominico Field. Thomas West alongside Jackson Farrow. Jordan Castaldo, the batter, facing Owen Boone. Castaldo lined a single in his first at-bat. Owen Boone looks in, gets the sign, and the first pitch is on the inside corner, strike one.
Yeah, Boone, now that was his 42nd pitch of the ball game here to kick off the third inning. Be interesting to see how far they let him go. Of course, he pitched a complete game shutout last time out to finish off the series in Brantford. And I mean, I think if you're manager Rupe Chandler out of the majors in this situation, you know, obviously you have some good relievers led by Braden Farrington, of course, but you want to give Boone a ton of room here, and I think they're really going to try to let him go as far as he can, unless they see some real results that indicate otherwise. But especially in a close game like this, you got to ride the horse.
Pitch is lined to left field. That one's going to get down for a base hit. Castaldo, another leadoff single to start an inning. And with nobody out, that brings up Justin Mara. Jordan Castaldo was pretty much the ideal leadoff hitter this year. Hit .323, which is good enough to be a leadoff hitter, but what's even better than that, he hit .487 on base percentage. Justin Mara, already a couple home runs in the playoffs. That's his thing, the long ball this year, the league MVP last year. Don't think he's quite in line for those honors this year, but there's a good chance that someone from one of these two teams is going to win it.
Yeah, both these teams have had tremendous production out of their catching position as well, with Mara and Jaco, pivotal parts of their team's lineups.
Pitch is low ball two to Justin Mara. Jordan Castaldo, who's on first base, has won 6 consecutive championships in the IBL, all of those with the Barrie Baycats, and he's trying to win another, this time with the Toronto Maple Leafs. But his 7th time in a row going to the finals. Pitch is low and inside.
Yeah, Boone, not in an ideal circumstance here. It's a 3-0 count now to the number 2 hitter, already with a runner on and nobody out.
We'll see if he gets the green light. The pitch to Mara, inside. Whew, late call. 3-1.
And Mara was ready to head to first.
I'm not saying I have any perspective on where it was, but it certainly was a late call. Runner on first for Justin Mara. 3-1 pitch to him, hit in the air to center field. Not deep. Drifting in is Austin Wilkie, now giving way to the left fielder. That's Ruiz. He makes the catch, 1 away.
Yeah, you wonder if that wind was playing a little bit of games out there in the field. Lots of time and space, though, and Ruiz is able to get that one, calling off his center fielder. So that's a big out, obviously, for Boone, you know, coming back from a 3-0 count to get a big out.
I'm wondering if the wind is changing the approach that Justin Mara has at the plate. We see him pull the ball a lot. Both times he's tried to poke one over that left field fence, trying to hit the other way with the wind blowing straight out that way. Sean Riley rips the ball through the middle. That one's down in center field for a base hit. First and second with 1 away. Brings up Garrett Takamatsu. It's incredible to see the change in approach from a guy like Sean Riley. He's hitting well over 600 in the playoffs this year, hit well over 400 in the regular season, and he can swing for the fence if he wants to. But he also has, it's almost like a 2-strike approach. Obviously, that wasn't with 2 strikes where he's just like, I'm going to keep the line moving. I have a guy in Garrett Takamatsu and Marcus Connect behind me. As Takamatsu, big cut and a miss.
Well, and that's the whole thing, right? In a lineup like this, Riley doesn't have to necessarily shoulder the load. No one does. When you have Garrett Takamatsu hitting behind you in a really good spot, you're just trying to pass the baton, especially in a pivotal game like this when you really obviously are down only by 1 run, but you're up against a really good pitcher in Owen Boone.
Takamatsu rips one pretty hard, but foul down the right field line. It's actually in the Toronto Maple Leafs' best interest to have Sean Riley get on base. Obviously, a home run is good too, but with Garrett Takamatsu, two guys who hit well over 300 and well over 400 in the regular season. Connect was on a tear in terms of home runs at the end of the year. Takamatsu just missed the league lead in home runs, got beat out by Justin Mara. Takamatsu takes high, pickoff play, throwback down to second base, and the ball was dropped, but Marcus Connect was slow getting, or Jordan Castaldo, I should say, was slow getting back to second base there.
I was just going to say, Castaldo was taking a big lead off second there, and Jaco noticed that as well. And the throw, I mean, they had a chance there to pick him off at second, but just unable to field that throw cleanly, and so Castaldo gets a bit lucky there.
Yeah, and that was a pitch out as well. That play was on.
Mm-hmm.
Takamatsu rips one down the line, foul. Had a lot of slice to it. One out. Runners on first and second for the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are just trying to plate another run, stay in the game versus the London Majors. This is exactly, well, pretty much exactly how game one went in the IBL finals. Boone's pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Looked like it was a foul tip, but it was caught by the catcher, Jaco. And after a bit of an argument from Garrett Takamatsu, he'll proceed back to the dugout, brings up Marcus Connect.
Yeah, Takamatsu had some words there for the home plate umpire, but he'll now head back to the dugout. And that's a big strikeout for Boone in this situation now to get that big second out. Still with a runner in scoring position, of course, but his pitch count now above 50.
Owen Boone looks in. Marcus Connect, the batter. He has a runner in scoring position, would love to cash him in. Pitch is just outside. Marcus Connect pops one in the air. This one on the infield. Catch is made by the second baseman, McQueen, and that's going to do it for the threat of the Toronto Maple Leafs. We head to the fifth inning. Leafs trail 2-1 to the London Majors from Thomas West and Jackson Farrow. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Dominico Field. Merrick Deska is still on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs in the top of the fourth inning, facing the Coquitlam, British Columbia native, Hayden Jaco. Pitch over the outside corner, strike one.
And watching the majors this year, I know we've talked a lot about Jaco already, but very fascinating. He back in university in D2 in the NCAA, he would catch 8 innings and then go close out the game on the mound.
Yeah.
And he actually pitched a game earlier this season here at Christie Pitts. He also pitched up here in Labatt Park as well. And very intriguing player, that's for sure.
Pitch is just outside. Yeah, that game at Christie Pitts on July 18th went 5 innings. Allowed 3 runs on 3 hits. Or 3 runs on 5 hits. Either way, pretty good outing from your catcher. Here's a ball ripped. Deep left field. Chandler McLaren looking up. Goodbye. Home run. Solo home run for Hayden Jaco makes it 3-1 London.
That's a great piece of hitting there from Hayden Jaco, and what a start to this inning for the majors. They get that 2-run cushion back. And, Jaco talked about it already. He's been a big part of this lineup this season, helping to shoulder the load, him and Reichstein, especially power-wise, when Cleveland Brownlee isn't hitting. And he showed it there. We talk about how this lineup is constructed. Have speed and defense at the top and the bottom and the power in the middle. Well, we just saw the power there from the catcher, Jaco.
Next pitch is hit on the ground. Tough play on a charging Garrett Takamatsu. Throws out Ruiz. 1 away.
4 home runs in the regular season for Jaco. And he's just, I don't know how long he'll be in the IBL. I'm not sure what his plans are for the future. But I'll tell you what, he is a presence both behind the plate and at the plate, in the box rather, for this majors team.
Here's a bunt, a pretty good one down the line. Solazzo barehands it, whips one to first, and what a play at first base. The batter is safe, but what a play to leap and keep that one from going down the right field line by Jordan Castaldo.
That's a great bunt there. Great job laying that one down from Wilkie. Infielders weren't too far in. I think Wilkie kind of saw that and was able to get something down. And he's got a lot of speed. Doing a good job reaching any way he can and making Deska continue to work here. So Wilkie, he's having a great day at the plate now. 2 for 2 with a home run, a couple RBI as well.
Julian Johnson, the batter, takes the first pitch for a ball. Wilkie's on first. He's got some speed. Deska, an off-speed pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 2. Merrick Deska isn't particularly quick to the plate. You could see Wilkie try and take off. He doesn't go, though. Pitch is fouled straight back, still 0-2.
There's 45 pitches now in this outing for Deska thus far, and doing a really nice job of trying to manage his pitch count, manage these ABs, getting ahead. That's what he does. Obviously, the home runs, not what you want to see from Deska, but he has been efficient, obviously, despite allowing the long ball.
0-2 to Johnson, just outside.
Yeah, Johnson, not too many ABs thus far in the postseason. 0 for 3 entering this game.
A 2-strike clap going on. Strike 3, throw down to second base. No call from the umpire.
Yeah,
not in time.
He might have said safe.
Safe at second.
Yeah, that was certainly he had quite the look there.
Yeah.
He took his time on that one, but eventually I think came up with the call that he was safe. Crowd here doesn't like it.
I did not see a call there at all.
Me neither.
I had no idea. It was a close play at second base, but it appeared that the throw beat him, but the throw was a little bit high from Justin Mara. Took some time to get the tag down on Wilkie. So he steals a bag. Strike 3 swinging on Johnson, and Merrick Deska will step on the mound and look back Wilkie.
Of course, Johnson with that long single in his first AB in the ball game. But he is sat down there.
Keith Candell, the batter, takes the ball outside. Keith Candell is known as a bit of a defensive wizard for the London Majors, but this year, pretty good at the plate as well. Finished with a .304 batting average. Here's the ball fouled straight back. Got it, Jackson. No.
Oh my
That
goodness.
was very close. Jackson Farrow just about able to lean over and make a play on that one.
Oh my goodness. Yes, that is coming towards us. There's a tree kind of hanging over us here at Christie Pitts at the top of the hill. And then it kind of fell right down. I thought it was going to crash right into our table here.
We have a lot of exposed equipment as well. Here's a line drive to center field. Coming in now, drifting back is Connor Lewis. He makes the catch. The Toronto Maple Leafs avoid disaster in the inning, and so do Jackson Farrow and I, as we're narrowly missed by a foul ball. To the bottom of the fourth inning we go. 3-1 London Majors on a solo home run by Hayden Jaco. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Dominico Field. As you just heard, John Solazzo is going to lead it off. Owen Boone on the mound for the London Majors. He's been pretty good so far, but the Toronto Maple Leafs have got their first earned run of the year in 3 starts, as the bat goes flying out of the hands of John Solazzo off the facing of the London Majors dugout, fouled off, strike 1.
And another foul ball that wasn't too far from us here. It looks like it crept over towards the press box. Yeah, bottom of the fourth inning now here in Toronto. We, of course, appreciate y'all joining us. If you're just joining us, it's a 3-1 Majors lead. And all on home runs for the Majors thus far. Wilkie hit a 2-run shot, and then Jaco hit a solo shot as well in the top half of the fourth inning.
And an RBI single for the Toronto Maple Leafs scored Marcus Connect. And that's where we sit right now, bottom of the fourth. 3-1 London Majors, a tight game once again between these two teams who truly emerged as the 2 best teams in the IBL. Here's a ball crushed to center field by John Solazzo, but running back and making the catch is the center fielder Austin Wilkie on a ball that was scorched, but allowed first out for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, great job there defensively by Wilkie. Great read. He's able to track it the whole way. Makes a big catch. Because if that ball obviously gets by him, that is certainly a double with the bottom of the lineup coming up, which, wouldn't be the biggest concern if you're Boone, but just, getting that big out to start off the inning is crucial.
Great crowd here as well at Dominico Field. The hillside is, well, more than just dotted with fans. It's a pretty packed ballpark, yeah. Here's a fly ball. Reichstein makes the catch, 2 away.
Yeah, and this is just what the doctor ordered here. If you're Owen Boone in this situation, obviously getting 2 quick outs to start off the ball game and now having to face a number 8 hitter with 2 out, nobody on. It's a pretty ideal situation here. As we had talked about, Boone's pitch count had climbed probably a little bit higher than he and the Majors would have liked, and this is a chance to kind of correct that a little bit in this inning and have an efficient one. So he deals first pitch strike there.
And it highlights the importance of getting this batter here as well. We got Connor Lewis on deck, who's been red hot. Chandler McLaren does have the lone RBI in this game. Sneaked a single through the right side in his last at bat.
5 for 16, I believe it is, in the playoffs for McLaren, and you'll take that production out of your number 8 hitter, that's for sure.
The strike one pitch to McLaren high, 1-1. Yeah, pitch count is certainly important. The 1-1 pitch, fouled off left side, hit pretty well, but well foul. The London Majors obviously have had some of the best pitching, well, probably the best pitching in the IBL this year in terms of their starters. But you mentioned it is really front-loaded in terms of the starters have been really good. It's been Pedro de los Santos and the guy you see right now, Owen Boone, Farrington coming out of the bullpen. Toronto Maple Leafs haven't had anyone really as close to as dominant as the London Majors pitching has been. But that being said, neither of these bullpens are particularly deep. It's really important that the starter goes 5, 6, 7 innings.
Right, and that's been the case for London really all season long, is they've done a really good job of getting a lot of length out of their starters. And, of course, a guy like Farrington who can pitch in bulk, he can pitch 1 inning, he could go 2 or 3. He started games at points. That's a big out there. Swing
and a miss by Chandler McLaren. Low pitch count in the bottom of the 4th inning for Owen Boone. McLaren strikes out. Toronto Maple Leafs trail 3-1 as we go to the 5th inning. Thomas West, Jackson Farrow from Dominico Field. See you later. Welcome back to Dominico Field. Thomas West alongside Jackson Farrow. 3-1 for the London Majors, top of the 5th inning. Marek Deska on the mound. Had a pretty typical Marek Deska start. 3 runs so far, throwing a lot of strikes, hasn't walked anyone, except on a hit by pitch.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see kind of how this game progresses. I'm interested to see if Toronto can kind of get their bats going here against Owen Boone and the Majors pitching staff, whoever ends up coming out of the pen. If they do go to the pen eventually, we'll see. Because, we had talked about earlier on in the game, Thomas, about how London would need to continue banking runs to kind of keep up with Toronto's lineup. But they've been pretty quiet so far.
Yeah.
And so we'll see now with a 2-run lead if London can kind of add to it, start to give themselves some leeway here.
The London Majors lineup has worked perfectly for them so far, as here's a ball hit on the ground. Tough hop there from Mara, whips the ball onto first base to Castaldo, 1 away. And the reason I say that is that was the leadoff hitter, McQueen, In all 3 of his at-bats, he's been the leadoff hitter. Not every day you see that.
No kidding.
Carlos Arteaga steps in.
Yeah, Arteaga 0 for 2 on the day. And Deska, I think Deska's job here is just to continue to get as quick outs as possible and get those bats back up for Toronto and try to figure out how to solve Owen Boone here. I think that'll be kind of in these middle innings, that'll be kind of what decides this part of the game, whether or not Toronto can solve Owen Boone or if he's going to continue to be dominant. And, of course, how much Toronto can get out of Marek Deska as well.
337 for Arteaga, his batting average in the regular season. Just 1 hit in the playoffs so far, looking to get it going. Pitch is high. That being said, another pitch is high to Arteaga. The London Majors haven't played as many games as everyone else in the playoffs. Yep. Obviously, this year with the Guelph Royals not being in the league, there was a weird playoff format where everyone in the league made it, but the London Majors got the bye to the next round for being first. Toronto Maple Leafs ended up in second place. 3-ball count to Arteaga. Pitch is high, ball 4.
It's a good job there by Arteaga getting on. Obviously, we had talked a little bit about how he's had a very quiet postseason thus far. He's able to reach there and get on for the power bats in this lineup with Reichstein and Brownlee and Jaco coming up.
Yeah, getting on base for Reichstein is always a good idea if you're a London Major.
No kidding, especially this season, especially against a righty. A lot of factors at play here. A great opportunity for London to add to their lead.
Here's a ball hit on the ground. Flip to second base for 1. On to first. Double play. The Toronto Maple Leafs escape danger once again, but trail 3-1 to the London Majors. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Thomas West and Jackson Farrow. We'll see you in a bit.
Now batting for Toronto, number 3, Connor Lewis.
Well, welcome back to Dominico Field here at Christie Pitts. Thomas West away for the moment. My name is Jackson Farrow. Great to be with you as we get started here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Toronto at the dish. It'll be Luis Castaldo-Mara. So 9-1-2 coming up for the Leafs in this inning, looking to get some offense going against Owen Boone. And at times, the Leafs have challenged, and it looked like they might have a chance to kind of get her going, but Boone's done a really good job of limiting damage so far in this game, as there's a big swing and a miss from Lewis there. And a big question, of course, in this ball game is how long Owen Boone is going to go. Of course, that'll depend on how efficient he can be in these middle innings. And this is a critical one, of course, as this lineup will turn over for the Leafs. Gunnar Lewis hit a home run in Game 1, the only long ball in game 1 back at Labatt Park on Friday. And made it a 4-3 ball game. And just 4 hits in the ball game for the Leafs in this one compared to London's 6. It is a 3-1 game. As that one's driven to left center, Wilkie has a read on it. He's under it, and he'll make the play rather casually for the first out of the inning. We appreciate you joining us. And if you're just tuning in, Austin Wilkie got things started for us here in terms of the scoring. As he hit a 2-run shot back in the second inning to put London up 2-0. Leafs answered in the bottom half of that inning with an RBI single to make it a 2-1 game. And then London in the top of the 4th added a run off of the bat of Hayden Jaco, who had a solo shot. And so now the Leafs turn things over in the bottom of the 5th inning. And it is Jordan Castaldo, the lefty. And the leadoff hitter, as Thomas mentioned previously, as great of a leadoff hitter as you can have. Can do it all. Can hit for contact, can hit for some power. Of course, he's a vet. He's been around the league. And it's a 2-0 count to the leadoff hitter. As Boone deals. That one swung on, fouled off. Looking like. And Arteaga certainly gave it a chase. Oh, and there's a big catch in the field. I'm sure you all can't quite hear the crowd as well as we can here, but they are fired up for that one. One of the ambassadors for this team just made a big catch, and now he's doing one-handed push-ups on the sidelines here, and the crowd is loving it. Oh, my goodness. There might be some tension, of course, with it being the finals, but got to always have fun here at Dominico Field at Christie Pitts. Despite the Leafs being down, they're still got lots of smiles here in the crowd. The 2-1. Taken low, but called strike 2, evens up the count at 2 now. And we are now joined once again by Thomas West. Thomas, it's great to have you back in the broadcast booth.
Thanks, Jackson.
Carried the mail for you there. All you missed was a Connor Lewis fly out to center field, and now it's a 2-2 count. You also missed, you might have seen it, that incredible catch over down the left field line, which they are still fired up about.
Did Bobby make another one?
He did. It was Bobby, and then he proceeded to do one-handed push-ups with encouragement from the Bushman. As that one gets through, and it's a base hit for Castaldo.
So a 1-out single for Jordan Castaldo. A seamless transition from Jackson and I. As there's a buzz in the crowd as well, and while I was away, I got to kind of experience what it was like and without the headphones on, and it's pretty loud.
Yeah.
Fans are getting excited. On the fly out to center field by Connor Lewis, there was some anger as well in the crowd that ball didn't get down. So it's an emotional fan base and a passionate fan base here at Christie Pitts as the pitch is low to Justin Mara.
Well, and both fan bases are hungry, right? It's been a while since
Yes.
either of these teams obviously have won, and longer for the majors, of course, in 75. But, you know, this is a spirited series. You've got two sort of big markets, London, Toronto, two passionate fan bases, two good teams as well.
So I believe it was 2004 for the Toronto Maple Leafs, last time they won. Do you know if there's anyone in the majors that was around during the last championship?
Don't believe so. Do not believe so. I mean, obviously, from the last majors championship, that would have been 75, so certainly not the case.
Mara hits one on the ground. That one's going to get through the right side. Castaldo to second. Mara to first with one away.
Yeah, the crowd is really fired up here, as you can probably hear a little bit in the background. And yeah, no, a great opportunity here, right? You've got Sean Riley coming up. The runner in scoring position, the runners on first and second. This would be the go-ahead run, of course, for the Leafs. This is a big moment of the ball game. Owen Boone's pitch count continues to climb. He is now up to, let's see, 78 pitches.
Yeah.
I didn't go to Sport Media for the math, but I was adding that up, and I think I've got that right. Anyways, he is well above 70 pitches, and so this is obviously a pivotal part of the ball game here. With just one out, a ground ball could end the inning, but a home run would drastically change the outlook of this ball game. Pivotal AB, not just in this game, Thomas, but dare I say in this series.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And the right guy at the plate for the Leafs. High, ball one. It'll be interesting it would be interesting to get inside the head of Sean Riley right now to know what he's thinking. Obviously, he's one of the smartest players on the field with the amount of experience that he's had in the IBL and just baseball in general. Getting drafted way back in 1995 to the Minnesota Twins. But you know that he just needs to get on base and keep the line moving because of the guys that are behind him. And that pitch is inside, and it's called a strike. Riley didn't like it. But that being said, Riley does know that he has immense power, and the wind is in his favor right now as well. So we'll see what kind of approach he has at the plate. He hasn't swung the bat yet.
Well, and as we talked about with Takamatsu on deck behind him as well, something to keep an eye on if you're Riley as well. Not necessarily needing to hit a home run here.
Pitch was in the dirt outside. Sean Riley still battling. Garrett Takamatsu's on deck. Then Marcus Connect if it gets that far. There is still the potential of a ground ball, which the London Majors are really hoping for right now. Could put the crowd out of it as well. As
no kidding.
There's definitely a buzz at Dominico Field. Boone looks in. The pitch to Riley. Just inside. Almost hit him.
Yeah, so now Riley's got himself a 3-1 count. Obviously, the Leafs are down in the game by a score of 3-1 with 2 runners on. I mean, all the factors are at play here. This is a huge pitch coming up here. Hitters count for Riley. Boone has had a great game. He's done a great job of limiting damage, but can he continue to do that here?
3-1 pitch, 1 out. Bottom of the 5th inning. Time is called.
Oh, and the Bushman didn't like that one.
We don't know who called the timeout, though.
That's the thing. Yeah, not sure who called time there, whether it was Riley or Jaco or Boone. Not sure who it was there. Well, I don't think it was Boone, but regardless, we'll do it all over again here. Still 3-1 count, of course. And looks like the Leafs bullpen getting loose a little bit. Not much action in the Majors bullpen as of now.
Riley takes inside, ball 4. It was a close pitch. Bases are loaded for Garrett Takamatsu.
So now 83 pitches for Boone as pitching coach Brent Wales comes out to have a word. A mound visit here, obviously in a pivotal moment of the ball game. We've got Takamatsu, one of Toronto's best hitters, at the plate with the bases loaded.
What do you think the message to Boone is here?
Trust your stuff. Trust your fastball. You've gotten this far. Your fastball's lively. Not sure what Takamatsu's career numbers are against Boone. That may play a factor as well, but obviously you've got nowhere to put him. Brent Wales, a fantastic pitching coach. Whatever he said, definitely would glean some insight for Owen Boone. And we'll see what they come up with here. Obviously, a pivotal moment, like I said, in this game, in this series. Down by 2. The tying run at second here for the Leafs.
First pitch, swinging a foul off. That pitch was way inside, and Takamatsu cued it foul right through his legs.
Yeah, that pitch wasn't even like far from hitting his legs.
Yeah.
He was able to get contact on that somehow. Fouled off.
Owen Boone doesn't find himself in this situation with bases loaded and less than 2 outs. Takamatsu's going to have to battle. 1 strike. The pitch, swinging a line drive, and that one's going to get down. 1 run's going to come in to score. They're holding up Justin Mara at third, and it's 3-2 for the London Majors. RBI single for Garrett Takamatsu.
And a big run there for the Leafs. The bases remain loaded for Connect now. And still just 1 out here for the Leafs. And that's obviously a big single to Takamatsu comes through there. And you know, big shout out to Riley as well, who put up a really, really good AB and was able to reach. Again, passing the baton. We've talked about it all day. And now this is a big batter for Boone here, trying to preserve this lead.
Bottom of the 15, fifth inning. Marcus Connect is the batter. He takes one right down the middle for a strike, and Boone will have to come right after Marcus Connect because it's the lefty John Solazzo who has crushed righties this year, sitting in the on-deck circle. And we mentioned that Owen Boone hasn't been in this situation a lot, as he looks in and delivers the strike one pitch just outside, 1-1. With the runner on first base, that would represent the fifth run of the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and Owen Boone hasn't given up more than 5 earned runs all year. It's only been one time on an occasion against the Kitchener Rangers when he gave up 5 earned runs. Every other start has been 2 earned runs or less. Here's a ball popped in the air. Not particularly deep. Probably will not score Justin Morrow from third, but he's coming. No, he's not. He faked it to home, and he might have wanted to go there as that throw was really high, and Owen Boone backing up Jaco had to cut that one off to keep the runners exactly where they are.
There's no way they would have sent him there. Obviously, that was certainly surprising when we saw him break, but clearly just trying to bait the throw. There's no way in your right mind you'd send someone on that play, but a pretty good fake certainly got me. So now we'll see what Solazzo can do. Had some hard contact earlier on in this ball game, even though it was a fly out, or a line out, I should say.
The big power hitting John Solazzo stands in, bases loaded, 2 outs. Pitch is in there for a strike.
And what a job it would be if Boone is able to get out of this somehow with the lead, right? Having the bases loaded facing Takamatsu with just 1 out. He's able now to get into a situation where he's facing the left. He's still bases loaded, however.
No balls. 1 strike to Solazzo. Cued foul, and I think it might have gone off Solazzo's knee, and he's shaken up a little bit.
Yeah, he is. He's going to take a second here to try to walk that one off. And now in the hole here, 0-2 as well is Solazzo.
That did not feel good for John Solazzo. You don't see him go down a lot. He's a pretty tough guy. But it might have gone like right off his kneecap or something like that. Tough place to get hit. Either way, he's got a battle here in a pivotal moment in the ball game. London Majors lead 3-2. No balls, 2 strikes to Solazzo. Boone looks in. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Huge strikeout for Owen Boone as Solazzo goes down swinging. The Toronto Maple Leafs were able to plate 1 run, but would have liked many more. 3-2 London Majors. We go to the 6th inning. Thomas West and Jackson Farrow at Dominico Field. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Dominico Field. Thomas West and Jackson Farrow on the call. And what was a huge inning for the London Majors, and they capitalized, or the London Majors were able to limit the damage. Toronto Maple Leafs capitalized a little bit as Cleveland Brownlee's the batter, takes one on the outside corner, 1-1. But a pivotal moment, you mentioned that it was a pivotal moment in the game, but also in the series, with the Toronto Maple Leafs only able to score one run against Justin or Owen Boone in that situation, and a guy who doesn't find himself with the bases loaded and less than 2 outs very often.
Well, and you look at the situation for the Leafs too, as Brownlee takes a strike there. I mean, in that situation where you've got the bases loaded, Sean Riley walks to load the bases for Garrett Takamatsu. I mean, if you're the Leafs in that situation, down 3-1, you can't ask for a better opportunity offensively. And of course, we talked about it earlier in terms of the home field advantage and stuff like that, as that one's popped way into the sky.
Garrett Takamatsu is camped under it. What Brownlee stretched way out to get a piece of that ball.
But yeah, I mean, that whole sequence was just so pivotal in the top half of this inning. Now, of course, Takamatsu was able to come through with a single. Solazzo wasn't able to. And, it'll be interesting to see when you look back on this series, if London does go on to take it or if Toronto does end up coming back. Regardless, that is a pivotal moment, despite it being, of course, in the middle innings of this game. We appreciate you joining us in the chat. If you're just joining us, it is 3-2 Majors, and we are in the top of the 6th inning now. Jaco at the plate.
Aiden Jaco already has a home run in this game, a solo shot. It was the 3rd RBI of the game for the London Majors. It's a big home run at this point in the game as well.
No kidding. Of course, gave them that extra run or cushion there and to keep them up 2. And then the Leafs, of course, got one back in the top half of the bottom half of the inning, rather. The 5th. So it's 3-2 here, and it's going to be a close one, I think, down the rest of the game here, unless one of these teams can break it open. But we just really haven't seen that so far. It's been great pitching from both sides here.
As Jaco took a ball outside. Deska's battling here in his 6th inning of work, and what has gone from looked like it was going to be a mediocre start at first for Deska, it's been great so far. Hyde is warming up in the bullpen for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So you wonder if Deska gets into any kind of trouble, it might be Hyde who comes into the game. Swing and a miss, strike 3, no trouble on that one. 2 away.
Yeah, Deska's had a really nice game so far. Of course, only allowing runs on home runs so far. The long ball hurrying, of course, with Wilkie and Jaco hitting home runs, respectively. But, if I told you, I think at the start of this game, if Deska can get through 6 here, which is a big if Deska gives you 6 innings of 3-run ball, I mean, you'd probably take that if you're the Leafs, especially at Christie Pitts.
Yeah. They were really hoping to win with Sigatello on the mound, and when Justin Sigatello is on the mound, that was a pivotal game 1 because he is the guy for the Toronto Maple Leafs and maybe the lone guy who's actually a shutdown pitcher out of the starting rotation, as that one's in there for a strike.
Yeah, it's still a very close game, 3-2 for the Majors. And so, of course, you still want to go with your best arms here. If you are the Majors and if you're the Leafs, of course, I think we'll still see the starter going for London still, Boone. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Toronto utilizes their bullpen. Looks like Kikado's also up. Not sure. Doesn't seem to be throwing as of yet.
No, he's the guy guarding the bullpen. Right. Yeah.
That's right.
Swinging a ball hit down the right field line. This one could stay fair. No, it's just going to drop foul. And Berto Ruiz had a poke at that one and then realized that the wind was actually pushing that back into fair territory.
Yeah, the outfielders were shifted left a bit there for Ruiz. And so Connect had a long way to go to get that one. He wouldn't have had a chance. And that one was slicing. But as you said, Thomas, the wind was sort of keeping it where it was going to be a close, whether it be fair or foul. It ended up just sailing foul. So a lucky break for the Leafs there.
2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Humberto Ruiz, the batter. Austin Wilkie's on deck if Ruiz can reach base. He's in a 2-strike hole. The pitch just outside, 2-2.
Yeah, 2 runs on 7 hits for the Leafs so far, and 3 runs on 6 hits for the Majors. Pretty even game in terms of hitting. Of course, London has just had a little more power in this one with the 2 home runs.
Pitch is in the dirt. Ruiz actually in the games that he did play in the regular season, he was fantastic at the plate, finished with an even 400 batting average. That being said, that was only in 50 at-bats. But another guy for these London Majors who, after the extended break with the bye to the second round, hasn't really got it going yet in the playoffs. Here's a ball hit on the ground, just past and outstretched John Solazzo. That's a base hit, his third of the playoffs for Ruiz.
Yeah, and now second hit of the game for Ruiz, so a solid day for him. And I'll bring up Wilkie, who, of course, I mean, he's been fantastic so far today. He laid down a bunt to reach in his last AB, and prior to that, he scored the first 2 runs of this ball game with a 2-run shot back in the second inning. Great defensively as well in center field today.
Yeah, Austin Wilkie made an incredible catch actually in center field, making a fantastic break and a long run to get a line drive to center field by John Solazzo. Pitch is high to Wilkie.
And, of course, if London is to win this game, obviously still far away, regardless of what happens in this game, it'll be interesting to see who pitches in Game 3 for both sides. You know, whether London tries to go back to De Los Santos or if they go to Luke Kelly, perhaps.
Yeah.
And for the Leafs, if they go to Cicatello or what they try to do. Of course, you got to take care of business here first. Still far from over. A lot of baseball left.
Pitch outside corner. Strike one, 1-1. De Los Santos going 9 innings in Game 1 doesn't really help his case for being a pitcher in Game 3. But that being said, it is a pretty long break between Game 1 and 3. So you would imagine that De Los Santos, and just in the moment we are in the season as well, you might as well give everything you got. Pitch is just outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. That's 3-1, I should say. So hitters count for Wilkie, who already has a 2-run home run in this game. Jaco has a homer. Wilkie has a homer. That accounts for all the runs. Wilkie's was a 2-run shot. It's 3-2 for the London Majors as Wilkie fouls one straight back. Got a high fastball. Was looking to dish that one into the outfield. 3-2 full count. Runners will be going. Or runner will be going. It's Humberto Ruiz at first.
79 pitches now for Deska. So this will be his 80th now.
Which, considering that we're in the 6th inning, that's a pretty good count for him. Here's the ball popped up on the infield. Dan Mara, the shortstop, camped under it, makes the catch, and that's going to do it for the London Majors in the 6th. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Toronto Maple Leafs were threatening last inning. We'll see if it's Owen Boone coming back on the mound. We imagine it probably is. And the Leafs will try and get something going. 3-2 London Majors from Dominico Field. Welcome back to Dominico Field. Thomas West alongside Jackson Farrow. And we're in the bottom of the 6th inning, Toronto Maple Leafs. And Dan Mara, who made the catch on the pop-up for the last out at the top of the 6th inning. He's the batter, followed by Chandler McLaren. Then the red-hot Connor Lewis is on deck. Owen Boone still on the mound for the London Majors. Infield and outfield both played straight away for Mara, respecting his ability to hit the ball all over the field. Mara takes one for strike one. Pitch is outside, 1-1. Dan, one of three Mara brothers on this team. Dan Mara and Justin Mara playing in this game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. The 1-1 pitch from Boone on the outside corner. Mara has a look at it, but it's strike two. Mara played in 19 games in the regular season, hit .243. So he takes that one upstairs, 2-2. 70 at-bats, 17 hits, a couple doubles, 8 RBIs. Struck out just 4 times in 70 at-bats. And his ability to put the ball in play makes him a good candidate as a leadoff batter in this inning. Here's a ball popped up. Second baseman camped under it. That's McQueen. He makes the catch, 1 away.
Put your hands together for Chandler McLaren.
Lefty power hitter, Chandler McLaren. Took him a little while to get things going in the regular season for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But McLaren, a guy who had a pretty good season with the Guelph Royals last season, not last year. Chandler McLaren has really cut down on the strikeouts as well in the playoffs. In 15 at-bats in the playoffs, just 1 strikeout for Chandler McLaren. Pitch is over the inside corner for a strike. McLaren, a native of Guelph, Ontario. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go back to Guelph next year, but who knows? Stands at 6'4", the 2-2. Swinging a ground ball. That one's going to get through, almost identical to his RBI single a couple at-bats ago, and he's on with 1 out for Connor Lewis, who flew out to center in his last at-bat. Some passionate fans alongside Christy Pitts, as you can probably hear. McLaren on first. The batter is Connor Lewis. In his last at-bat, he hit the ball pretty well, but stationed perfectly in center field was Austin Wilkie, who made the catch. This pitch is right down the middle, strike one. No balls, 1 strike to Connor Lewis, and he takes strike 2, and he wasn't happy about that one. He wasn't particularly happy with the first call either, but more animated about that one. Connor Lewis hit a home run in Friday night's game against the London Majors, obviously, in Game 1 of the IBL playoff finals. And that was a significant home run as well, his first one since the summer of 2018 for Connor Lewis. Now he rips the ball left field line. That one's caught on the fly by Mateo Kakatos, the bullpen for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Three hits a couple nights ago. Chandler McLaren, a modest lead at first base. Boone looks in, the pitch. Swinging a ball, crushed to center field on the line, but Austin Wilkie once again is right there to make the catch on Connor Lewis, who has been hitting the ball hard, but right at Wilkie every time.
Make some noise for your first baseman, Jordan Castaldo.
Leadoff batter for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Jordan Castaldo. Costello has a couple hits today. Neither of them were hit particularly hard, just poked one into right field, then poked one into left field. McLaren once again takes a very short lead from first base. And the first pitch of the at-bat to Jordan Castaldo. Swinging a ball line. That one's going to get down and finds a little bit of a gap, but not enough to score Chandler McLaren as Hill goes first to third. And a single to keep the line going for Jordan Castaldo.
Well, and here we go, right? Another moment where, you know, this is a pivotal situation. You've got one of Toronto's best hitters up at the plate. You've got a runner at third with 2 out, right? So that's the tying run right there. Boone's still pitching. His pitch count now looks like to be above 100 now. And so, you know, in this situation, there's a lot of factors at play. You know, how does this factor into London's bullpen usage as the game goes on? How does this factor in Toronto's bullpen usage as the game goes on? But more importantly, can Toronto tie it up here?
First pitch from Boone is a strike on the inside corner to Justin Mara. And the biggest part of this as well is that you have the middle of the order bats coming up. Justin Mara, then Sean Riley.
Takamatsu, yeah, this is pivotal here. Once again, another great opportunity for the Leafs.
Mara takes low 1-1.
And if Takamatsu were to come up again, entering this contest, he is 2 for 6 against Boone career-wise, as per Dylan Baker of the London Majors broadcast. Big shout out to Dylan Baker.
I was wondering how you got that stat. 1-1. Swung on a missed. 2 strikes now on Justin Mara, who's going to have to battle. This is an important time for Mara to get a run across with a runner on third, but there are 2 outs. Riley waiting hopefully on deck. Mara, the lefty, has hit righties very well this year. We've seen him try to go opposite field quite a bit. We'll see if he does the same thing on a 2-strike approach against Owen Boone. The 1-2 pitch. Just inside. 2-2.
Wow, that is a tough pitch to take.
Yep.
I don't know how he took that one with 2 strikes and 2 out and given the situation. Great eye, great take, and now he's got a 2-2 count here. Can Boone find a way to get another tough situation once again?
The 2-2. Swinging a ball hit in the air. Left field, going back. Gone! Home run! Justin Mara goes the other way again, and this one leaves the yard. Christy Pitts has erupted as the Leafs take the lead.
Well, we talked about his approach earlier in the game, Thomas. Mara wanting to go the other way, adjusting for the wind. And boy, did he crush that one. Not much of a chance for anyone to even come close to that one there. That thing was high and well over the wall there. Ruiz wasn't going to make any sort of home run robbing grab there. And what a moment for Mara. A crucial 3-run shot. Puts the Leafs up in front 5-3 with 2 out. You know, we were talking about how previously the Leafs had that chance with Takamatsu at the plate and the bases loaded. They couldn't come up with the play. Boone did a great job of managing. And in this inning, not the same. Mara is able to come through with a huge clutch hit, and now Sean Riley is hit.
Riley's hit, and he takes about 3 steps towards the pitcher, Owen Boone.
Oh, now there's talk between the dugouts, it appears here. Saw coach for Toronto pointing into the London dugout. Obviously can't tell what was said or anything like that, but tension certainly rising here, Christy Pitts.
There are some parties on either side that are quite fired up right now.
What a 6th inning this has been, both just in terms of, you know, for the Leafs, they did a great job of being able to battle and get through a clean 6th and put up a huge 3-run shot from Mara there. And now tensions are high.
Takamatsu, a big cut, and he fouls it straight back. I would be surprised if that was intentional from Owen Boone in a finals game,
No
game
kidding.
2, especially when he's just trying to get out of an inning.
Yeah, I mean, he's thrown 111 pitches here. He's not trying to hit anyone, I don't think, in this situation.
Especially with no one on base with Sean Riley.
Yeah.
The 1-strike pitch to Takamatsu is low and outside, 1-1.
And as you talked about, it's the finals. You know, you're not going to try to put a runner on to have to deal with Takamatsu if you don't have to. So, but yes, they are fired up here at the pits now. I can tell you that. And the Leafs have taken the lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 5-3 if you're just joining us.
Boone's trying to get out of this inning and delivers a pitch high. 2 balls and 1 strike on Garrett Takamatsu. And the wind here as well, we should mention at Christie Pitts, is really starting to pick up, and it is getting chilly.
It sure is.
Jackson Farrow and I are shivering right now behind the desk.
We're grinding it out, though, for you folks at home. Glad to bring you this broadcast.
Takamatsu takes high 3-1. I would be very surprised if Takamatsu doesn't take a monster cut at this.
Well, given the circumstances, given the fact that Boone's pitch count has climbed well above 110 now, likely his last batter. And Leafs have already done damage in this inning as well.
3-1, huge cut, fouled. Well out of play. Wasn't a bad pitch there from Owen Boone. It appeared that Takamatsu had to reach a little bit for that one, which would suggest he was right on the outside corner.
And just back to the Mara home run, Thomas, it felt like that was coming. It
Yeah.
felt like it was building and mounting to that moment. And the Leafs just needed someone to come through with that clutch hit, and Mara does it there. And, what a momentum shifter, isn't it? I mean, what a change just even in the energy here.
3-2, Riley was on the move, pitches high, ball 4, brings up Marcus Connect, who hasn't been the best hitter on the team for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but at the later end of the season, this was the guy, the RBI guy for the Leafs, and Marcus Connect.
Connect is 1 for 2 on the day with a walk. And obviously another big hit will go a long way here for the Leafs. Still a lot of baseball to go, of course. And just a 2-run lead for the Leafs. And, the fact that they're going to be going to the bullpen sooner than later here. This is far from over. And if Connect can add another run or 2 here, the runner in scoring position, it'll go a long way for the Leafs.
Pitch low and outside to Marcus Connect. His first at-bat, the walk, was that 7-foul at-bat that produced the first run eventually for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 0-1, Boone's pitch fouled straight back. Connect would seem displeased at himself that he wasn't able to make contact or good enough contact to get that one on the outfield. It is loud here.
Well, they are fired up. The energy is awesome. I mean, that home run, as you said, Thomas, you capitalized it perfectly. This place really erupted when that happened.
Yeah. 1-1. Outside, 2-1.
I don't want to compare this atmosphere to Labatt Park. Very different atmospheres. Yeah. But Labatt Park was also fired up in Game 1. And tons of people in the crowd. It was awesome to see the atmosphere in this IBL Finals. In Game 1 was amazing, and in Game 2 has also been amazing. It's been great to see a lot of fans and supporters coming out to cheer on both these clubs.
2-1, low, 3-1. And fans are just happy to see someone who's not the Barry Bacons in the finals for the first time in a really long time. And it is great to see both the London Majors and the Toronto Maple Leafs, truly the 1 and 2 best teams in the IBL this year. And 2 franchises that, as you mentioned, are very hungry for a championship. This is a big inning right now, a big at-bat. 3-1 to Marcus Connect. Hitters count facing Owen Boone. The pitch, hit on the ground. That one is a fair ball. No, it's going to be called fouled on the left field line. I looked at Sean Riley for the fair foul call, not the umpire.
Not much of a surprise that he rolled it fair, that's for sure. But yeah, that certainly was a close one.
3-2.
So now a full count here, and obviously this has been a long and a very tough inning, of course, for Boone. And
his pitch count is well over 100, is it not?
Yeah, he's up to, let's see here, 130 pitches, if I'm correct. No, 120 pitches, I believe. 122, perhaps. Again, math not my specialty, but well above 120 at this point.
Marcus Connect skies one in the air. Going out is the second baseman, McQueen. Now coming in as the center fielder and making the catch. A little bit of a nervous moment, but Wilkie, who's been solid out there, makes the catch. What a big inning for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Capitalized by a 3-run home run by Justin Mara with 2 outs. and the Toronto Maple Leafs have a 5-3 lead. We go to the 7th inning. New pitcher on the mound for the Leafs. It'll be Andrew Hyde, and we'll be right back in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Dominico Field. Some drama in this game so far. The Toronto Maple Leafs taking a 5-3 lead on a 3-run home run by Justin Mara, and a new pitcher into the game after a great start by Marek Deska is Andrew Hyde.
Yeah, and a 7.02 ERA on the season for Hyde. And last time out, September 9th against Hamilton. He pitched a couple games against Hamilton, and both in the playoffs. Obviously, mainly a reliever, just not going to give you a ton of innings, but he went 3 September 9th his last time out, a 21-6 victory. Pardon me, just one of those was the playoffs. The other one was regular season, of course.
Yeah, last game of the regular season as well.
Yep, both against Hamilton. September 9th, he went 3 innings, 3 earned, 6 hits, 2 strikeouts. And, of course, not a ton of work in the regular season, 33 1/3 innings, 24 strikeouts. Big issue, of course, is the 21 walks as well. And we'll see what he has in store for these London Majors here, who are now behind, looking to generate some offense now in the 7th inning with just 9 outs to work with.
Needless to say, Hyde has certainly had his struggles this year. He's facing Julian Johnson, and he's got a couple strikes on him. He's had a few outings where he looks like things are starting to come around, but a lot of the time it's been difficult to get out. What a pitch there from Hyde. A wild swing and a miss from Julian Johnson, one away.
That's a big first out for Hyde there to set the tone for this inning. You're taking on 8-9-1 as Johnson visibly frustrated the dugout, tossed his bat. So now it'll be the number 9 hitter, Keith Candell. And, what you want to do, of course, with sort of like I've talked about throughout the game, the top and bottom end of this lineup is fast, and they can steal bases. They can get on in a variety of fashions. So if you can kind of limit the amount of base runners you have on when you turn the lineup over, of course, that would be a recipe for success if you're Hyde. And if you're the majors, you are just trying to get someone to reach and get her going because you're only down by 2.
Here's the ball hit in the air really deep, but well fouled on the left field line. Yeah, Hyde, he started 5 of the 8 games that he's appeared in this year, but boy, it's been a struggle in a few of them. He's had a couple where he's given up 8 earned runs. A lot of them he gave up 4 earned runs over 4 or 5 innings. So he'll eat outs, but it's certainly not what the Toronto Maple Leafs need right now, and they could really use a big outing from Andrew Hyde to turn it over to Kakatos and Richardson later on in the game. Pitch is well high, but swung on and fouled back there. Batter is Keith Candell, and then the leadoff batter, McQueen. Important to get Keith Candell right here with the top of the liner about to turn over. A swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. Another wild swing from a London Major, 2 away.
He's got that, whatever it is, that off-speed pitch. I don't know if it's a changeup or some sort of slider, whatever it is. It's working for him.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he's got 2 wild whiffs on that one there, or in this outing, rather. And now he's got the top of the order coming up. McQueen's a guy who doesn't strike out very often. And so, I think if you're McQueen here, again, you were just trying to reach any way you can. That's got to be the message from the London bench at the moment.
Yeah, and I have not seen a McQueen at bat where John Solazzo isn't shaded in near the grass.
Yep.
With the ability for McQueen to lay down a bunt there down the left field line. And, yeah, that off-speed pitch from Hyde, too, whatever it is, it's coming out of exactly the same arm slot as his fastball. I think that's why it's fooling these London Majors batters. But they're back to the top of the order now.
I'll get a drink and I'll get
1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch, swinging a ground ball to second. Takamatsu gets it on a friendly hop, throws to first. Extremely clean inning from Andrew Hyde. A couple strikeouts and a ground out. The Toronto Maple Leafs will look to add on to their 5-3 lead over the London Majors. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning from Dominico Field. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Dominico Field. John Solazzo, who's ran into some tough luck at the plate, steps up, and he's going to face Farrington after the outing by Boone. No, certainly not one of his best outings of the year. Farrington, though, having a career year, and boy, oh boy, has he ever been fantastic for the London Majors, but he hasn't pitched a lot lately.
No, he hasn't. I mean, on the year, he had a .86 ERA. Just phenomenal stuff out of the pen, doing it all for London.
Here's a drive. This one's deep to right field. Gone. John Solazzo on the first pitch of the bottom of the 7th takes Farrington deep. It's 6-3 for the Maple Leafs.
I'll take my foot right out of my mouth there, Thomas, as I was just touting Farrington's season, and then the very next pitch, Solazzo hits. No, I'm not going to call that a no-doubter, but that thing was an absolute missile to right field. Pulling that one is Solazzo. He's had great contact all day.
I'd hope Solazzo didn't have any doubts because he wasn't coming out of the box.
That's a great point. He sure took his time on that one. And adds to this Leafs lead. It is now a 6-3 ball game here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Farrington in the regular season had an .086 earned run average.
Yeah, and you know, he hadn't pitched since the 17th prior to entering this game.
Here's a ball hit to center field, but right at Wilkie, he was at a ton of action.
And so that's the whole thing with having the bye, right? I mean, Farrington hadn't had a lot of work entering this ball game. Of course, hadn't pitched since the 17th. Prior to that, hadn't pitched since September 4th in Welland. So it had been a while, of course, and I'm not going to correlate the home run to that. Solazzo is an incredible hitter, of course, lefty on righty. And Farrington has been amazing all year long, but certainly something to keep an eye on here. And it'll be interesting to see how far Farrington goes in this one.
That's the 4th earned run on the year that Farrington's given up.
Crazy. I mean, career year like we had talked about.
Yeah.
Not in that situation, though, however. Now he's going to have to battle.
Oh, what a pitch from Farrington.
No
way
kidding.
out in front was Chandler McLaren.
Well, and that's the whole thing, right? He's able to work that off speed. Doesn't necessarily throw heat. Doesn't necessarily need to throw heat when he's got off speed pitches like that.
Farrington looks in, looking to settle down this inning. He's got one out, and the pitch swung on and missed, and McLaren just swung a noodle at that one again. 2 away. Connor Lewis, the batter, he's hit a ball hard his last 2 at-bats, but nothing to show for. And his last 2 at-bats for Lewis. Both of them have been right to the center fielder, Austin Wilkie. Takes low. Connor Lewis, then it's back to the top of the order in Castaldo, but there's 2 away with no one on. Braden Farrington looks in. The pitch to Lewis, just outside, 2 balls. Infield and outfield played pretty much straight away for Lewis once again. Lewis loves to take the ball to the opposite field. Pitch is in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Lewis. Wilkie has him shaded slightly to left field, and that is right where Lewis has been hitting it. Two balls, 1 strike, 3-1 now.
Should be noted, left-handed pitcher Luke Kelly is now warming in the London Majors bullpen. Not throwing too fast or too aggressively, but certainly doing a nice stretch and toss. Looks like he is preparing to enter the game at some point.
Outside, ball 4. Some speed on first base in the form of Connor Lewis for the leadoff batter, Jordan Castaldo, who already has multiple hits this game. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Toronto Maple Leafs have had some success against Kelly in the bullpen this season.
Yeah, if I recall, Kelly pitched actually at Christie Pitts earlier on this season. And I believe he also got the Christie Pitts experience in that outing as well.
Yeah.
Don't have the numbers for you yet, and we'll work to get those for you as soon as we can. But yeah, top of the order coming back up. Great chance here for Toronto to continue to build. I mean, they've put up runs in the last 3 innings. In the 5th, they put up 1. In the 6th, obviously the 3-1 shot from Mara, and then the solo shot from Solazzo in this inning. As that ball's going to get down for a base hit.
Well, cue shot of the outfield. Connor Lewis is racing for third base, and he gets in there.
Yeah, on that play, Ruiz came up throwing there from left. Just wasn't able to get that throw in fast enough. Lewis has good speed. I think he was always thinking first to third on that play, and a good job by the base runner there. So now first and third, still 2 out, but for Justin Mara, who in this very same position last time with 2 out runners on the corners, hit a 3-run shot in the last inning.
And once again, he is facing a righty. Him and John Solazzo have matched up really well against righties this year. Mara swings and misses, and you have a pretty good idea what's on Justin Mara's mind right now. But realistically, that opposite field approach has been working for him this game.
Yeah, it's been a good one. I mean, he's had close chances, and of course the home run as well. But even prior to that, he took a ride deep all the way to the track.
Here's a ball ripped left field line, way foul. Tons of home run distance.
Wow. Couldn't keep that one fair, was Mara, but tons of power on that. He got all of it.
And just to get the numbers on Kelly, last time he faced Toronto, August 31st, 3 innings pitched, 8 runs on 8 hits. Part of a 21-20 or 21-12 win for the Leafs. Farrington's pitch way outside. Don't be mistaken in this game, though. This is still a really big out to get here for Farrington because the bats of the London Majors are just about as good as what was going on in Toronto this year. Pitch is swung on and missed. 2 strikes now on Justin Mara.
I believe it'll be 2-3-4 coming up for the Majors in the next inning as well. Arteaga, Reichstein, and Brownlee.
So the meat of the order there. And important to get on base with Cleveland Brownlee up as well, just inside, ball 3.
Yeah, Farrington's command does look a little bit off in this outing. Just not able to get that off speed enough in and around the plate.
Mara swung on a missed way out in front, and that's going to end the inning. Farrington gives up a solo home run to John Solazzo. It makes it 6-3 for the Toronto Maple Leafs over the London Majors. You're watching Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube from Dominico Field. Thomas West and Jackson Farrow. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Dominico Field. Thomas West alongside Jackson Farrow. Carlos Arteaga, the 2-hitter, is up. Andrew Hyde, who had a great inning of work, has earned himself another inning. And facing the meat of the order as well for the London Majors, 2-3-4. Arteaga, Reichstein, and Cleveland Brownlee. And more if one were to get on base. Mateo Cacados appears to be pretty loose in the bullpen. Pitch right down the middle, strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Arteaga 0 for 2 with a walk in this contest. As we mentioned earlier, he's 1 for 13 entering play today in the playoffs.
Takes outside 3-1.
And so now down 3 after London, now in the 8th inning with just 6 outs to work with. I don't want to sound like a broken record, and you all already know this at home. They got to get on base however you can. Oh, and there's a strike call there. Arteaga was really ready to head to first, but it'll be a full count now.
Late call.
Yep.
3-2, though. We've seen a couple this game. Full count. Pitch hit on the ground. Tough play for John Solazzo. Long throw to first. He got him. Oh, what a play for Solazzo in Manny Machado territory.
No kidding. Shades of Nolan Arenado, Manny Machado, Josh Donaldson, whoever you want to throw in there. What a play from third base. Well into foul territory, that ball carried Solazzo. On his back foot, throws across his body, across the diamond. And what a play there defensively from Solazzo to get the leadoff hitter retired. And that's huge, obviously. We talked earlier about how you want runners on for Reichstein and Brownlee and Jaco in the middle of this lineup. Huge play defensively to get the first out of this 8th inning here.
Pitch goes right through Justin Mara, ball 1. Byron Reichstein, the batter. John Solazzo's defense this year hasn't been sparkling, but that is a massive play here in the playoffs from Solazzo at third. It's been his bat, which has been the big factor. Here's the ball hit pretty well in the air. That one's going to get over the wall. Home run. A ball that just kept carrying. Byron Reichstein finds the fence. It's 6-4.
His second home run of the playoffs, and what a good time for it there. Obviously, that also brings into account, just how important that defensive play was from Solazzo as well, right? Because that would have obviously made it a 6-5 ball game. Instead, it's 6-4. Hey, listen, just one out, Hyde on the mound, and you got Cleveland Brownlee coming up. Like we've talked about, a lot of baseball left here, and now just a 2-run deficit that the majors face.
That was a frozen rope in the outfield. That caught me off guard that got over the fence. But he crushed that baseball off of Hyde. Cuts the deficit to 2. Dustin Richardson as well, I see, is walking around out there in the bullpen. I don't know if he's getting loose. Yeah, I think he is getting loose. Getting loose and also protecting Kakatos.
Yes.
He's the bullpen pitcher.
Serving a couple purposes there is Richardson, former big league arm.
Yeah.
Involved in the Andrew Miller trade, or one of the many Andrew Miller trades over the years. As noted, of course, by Majors. Oh, there's a big swing and a miss there from Brownlee.
Way out in front was Cleveland Brownlee. Hyde gets him swinging, his 3rd strikeout of the game, and there's 2 away.
That's obviously a big strikeout here for Hyde. I mean, that can't be understated. In that situation, having just come off allowing a home run with just 1 out, the power bat at the plate, you get a big K, and now you face Jaco with nobody on and 2 out. And if you can find a way to get him out, you're in a pretty good situation.
Here's the ball hit in the air. Camped under it in center, now coming in a little bit. The wind obviously affecting it, but making the catch is Connor Lewis. And Andrew Hyde gives up a home run, but all in all, a pretty good relief appearance. 1 run on 1 hit for Andrew Hyde over a couple of innings. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Thomas West alongside Jackson Farrow from Dominico Field. We'll see you then.
Riley.
Bottom of the 8th inning at Dominico Field. Sean Riley stands in. I'm Thomas West alongside Jackson Farrow, and Braden Farrington is on the mound facing Sean Riley. Farrington in his 2nd inning of work and pitches well. Oh, leaning back was Riley, but it broke right over the inside corner of the plate. Strike 1.
6-4 Leafs lead. What a game it has been, Thomas. Bottom of the 8th inning now. And Game 3 goes Tuesday in London at Labatt Park, 7:35. Majors TV will have all the action for you. Noah Smith and Dylan Baker, as per usual. They'll have the call for you. And listen, it's going to be a hell of a game no matter what happens here. You know, if London finds a way to come back and makes it 2-0, wow, what a game that's going to be. And if Toronto holds on here and ties this series up 1-1, it's going to be a pivotal Game 3, won't it, Thomas?
Yeah, but both of these teams have proved that they can play each other equally.
Yep.
And that was the big thing, that we hadn't really seen a series leading up to this with either of these teams, with how well they've been playing recently, the amount of dominance that they had in the regular season. We hadn't seen a lot of series where it was like, you know, it could really go either way. The Toronto Maple Leafs were quite favored all through their playoff run. Obviously, the London Majors were as well.
Yeah, I could see a situation here as Farrington deals. And they're going to say, no, say he didn't go around there.
I thought he fouled it off.
I think he did too. Hard to tell from up here, but certainly an interesting situation. I think one of the biggest things is going to be the home field advantage, right? Because I could see a situation where London takes the 2 games they have at Labatt Park. Toronto takes the 2 games that they have at Christie Pitts, and it's all going to come down to Game 5 at Labatt Park in London.
This game will be a really big deciding factor.
Absolutely.
Swung on and fouled back by Sean Riley. He was putting up a battle here. Count is 2-2.
I'll tell you what, whether you're a fan of the Leafs, whether you're a fan of the Majors, whether you're a fan of IBL baseball, or just baseball as a whole, you're getting great baseball here. You're getting a great series no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's certainly one thing that you can be really happy with here if you're the IBL as a whole. You know, it's been such a long season. It's been a tough season, you know, to get this thing off the ground. Now here we are, and what is a great finals here.
Riley hits one on the ground to the third baseman, Arteaga. Throws on to first. Good play. 1 away. Shout out to the people that tuned in as well. I see we got 175 people tuned in right now on the broadcast. That's more than the Toronto Maple Leafs have had on our side of things in quite a long time. So we appreciate everyone tuning in, but we see why you did. Because this is a great series that's been going on between the Leafs and the Majors. A 1-run game in Game 1. The London Majors taking that one on Friday night. Now we're here in a 2-run game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. That ball is hammered foul.
Hope everyone's okay over there. That one was shot into foul territory.
It did catch a fan, but they appear to be okay. It one-hopped them.
They didn't get the glove on that one, did they?
No. I don't believe they were looking over.
Well, we hope they're all right. But regardless, yeah, I mean, the support from around the IBL this year in terms of viewership, both in person as well as on these streams, has been fantastic. We really appreciate you sticking with us and being patient with us as well. We understand that, you know, production quality isn't amazing. We don't have switchers. We have one camera. We don't have a bug. But, you know, we really appreciate you hanging in there with us. We're trying to update you as much as we can here. It is a 6-4 Leafs lead. They have 12 hits. London has 4 runs on 8 hits. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning with 1 out. And it is now a 1-2 count to Garrett Takamatsu.
Farrington appears to have settled down after giving a home run to John Solazzo. And you mentioned the crowds as well. It really does feel like the Toronto Maple Leafs have been fueled by this crowd here in Christie Pitts. The 1-2 pitch from Farrington. Swinging a ground ball to Arteaga again. This one's a tougher play. Spin throw to first. Not in time. It took a horrible hop off that lip of the grass there as it came to first base. And reaching safely is Garrett Takamatsu, which will definitely be an infield hit.
Welcome to the plate, Marcus Connect.
Marcus Connect, the batter now. He's had some fantastic at-bats in this game. With 1 out and the runner on first base, Garrett Takamatsu. Farrington looks back, modest lead at first, and here's a ball ripped down the left field line. That one's just foul.
And so, of course, as we look ahead to the top of the ninth inning, you expect to see Dustin Richardson, the Leafs closer, coming in. He is warming up now on the mound and looks to be preparing to come to the game. It will be Humberto Ruiz, Austin Wilkie, and Julian Johnson. So the 6, 7, 8 hitters lined up, coming up, or due up rather, for the majors in the top of the ninth, looking to rally down by just 2.
Farrington looks in. The pitch. Low. 1-1. It was interesting to see Andrew Hyde come back on the mound for a second inning of work for the Toronto Maple Leafs, with Mateo Kakatos loose in the bullpen and Dustin Richardson lined up to pitch the ninth inning. But the decision actually doesn't surprise me that much, because Kakatos has struggled in the playoffs so far, as that one's low in the dirt. ERA up over 13 and a couple of innings worked in the playoffs, and Andrew Hyde was rolling on the mound with a low pitch count, so it could be a little bit of maybe a slight lack of confidence in Kakatos coming on the mound of the bullpen, and just the fact that, you know, you always need pitchers. You want to save arms, so that those two things probably factored into that decision, as the pitch is swung on and foul tipped at the plate. 2-2 from Marcus Connect.
So a 2-2 count now with just 1 out. To Connect. Farrington still pitching.
Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3 on the check swing by Marcus Connect. Brings up John Solazzo. And before that, we're going to get a visit to the mound. And this is going to be to bring Farrington out of the game, I would imagine. Yes, it is.
It is, yep.
Is that Kelly coming to the game?
Sure is.
So we get a pitching change. We'll have more on that very shortly, and we'll take a short break. From Thomas West and Jackson Farrow, we'll see you in a few minutes.
Welcome back. So it'll be Luke Kelly into the game now, as Braden Farrington was lifted. And so it'll be John Solazzo in now with a runner on. And still, for now, 2 out here as a first pitch strike in there. Luke Kelly out of Greensboro, North Carolina, came to the majors a bit later on in the regular season. In pretty limited numbers, as that one is ground ball to McQueen, going to his left, and he's able to make the play at second base. So Kelly, it's only a couple pitches to get out of the inning, and we will head now to the top of the ninth inning, where it'll be, as mentioned, Ruiz, Wilkie, Johnson due up, as the majors look to rally down by 2, 6-4, heading to the top of the ninth inning. We'll be right back after this.
Now batting for London.
Welcome back to Dominico Field. Thomas West alongside Jackson Farrow. Last chance for the London Majors, down 6-4 and facing the big lefty, Dustin Richardson.
Yeah, I mean, the guy has big league experience, of course, with the Red Sox. What was it, 10 years ago now? And certainly sort of a marvel to watch in the IBL, getting to see a former big leaguer whip his fastball around, and he's just got so much velocity as you see it there, up and in. But it'll be, as mentioned, Louise Wilkie Johnson due up. So 6-7-8, looking to try to get someone on. And again, only down by 2. All it takes is a walk and a solo or a home run, and you could be in a good position here for London.
Ground ball to short. Throw on to first by Mara, 1 away. And a rare non-strikeout from Dustin Richardson, and that's not even a joke. Dustin Richardson strikes out about 2.3 batters per inning.
Yes. Certainly talk about a lively fastball. I mean, Boone certainly has one, as does Richardson. And a good job there by the Leafs getting a big first out here.
Here's a ball hit in the air. This one's carrying pretty well. McLaren coming over, dives. Did he catch it?
I think Lewis came in and grabbed it.
Was it Connor Lewis? What a catch either way. Lewis covering a ton of ground out there in center field.
Wow.
You saw McLaren dive, but Lewis took it out of his glove.
Yeah, the left fielder and the center fielder there converged. It looked like a ball that might split them. It might hit the squirrel sitting in the left center behind the both of them, but Lewis comes all the way over and makes the grab. And so now quickly 2 out, and the Majors are down to their final batter here.
Pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Just to